Yeah, let's get Maria and Heather so they can say hello and. Okay, we are live on social media. If Genesee Title wants to come in and promote themselves a little bit, that'd be great. Heather, Maria. Just thought you might want to give a little plug. You're live now. Camera's right here. You want to get close to it and just say the name of your company and why are you hosting this event, and tell them about the other events that you have coming up with the crypto and all that other stuff. Just thought you might want to give a little plug. Now. Camera's right here. Okay. Okay. Yep. To everybody else. Sam.
It's lagging behind. Yeah. You just gotta go for it.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sound like you're just talking to yourself.
Oh, okay.
Sam, if you can't hear us, let us know. Okay, go ahead.
Hi, good afternoon. I'm Maria with Genesee Title, and we're hosting today's charitable event. It's a charitable real estate event. And we do have upcoming events, but those are actually to be determined at this time, but we have some good things coming up. Thank you all so much.
Yeah, she's not big on the camera thing. And I would love to bring up our friend Jessica Peterson, who is the reason why we are all here and why these events are starting here. So.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. I'm so happy to see each of you here. I'm grateful for Maria, who we all met, that owns Genesee Title, geneseetitle.com. She's an amazing title agency owner out here in Florida. And today I'm really honored to go ahead and have Cami speak about charitable real estate. So my background, I am a real estate agent with eXp Realty, Icon Agent, and not only am I passionate about serving people with real estate, but I'm also really passionate about educating people. I do coach real estate agents and also love to educate people in our communities about what's trending in the future. Right now, some of the hottest subjects are crypto and of course, charitable real estate. When I met Cami, I mean, Cami is like, she's amazing. And I'm gonna back up data for that. She's top 5% agents in the nation. She's been on many TV shows. And as soon as she met about this new way of helping and supporting nonprofits in the real estate world, she got excited. She's doing this full time, traveling in her RV. I took a picture of it outside there. Someday I would love to see my husband do that. Oh, gotta love it, potential spam call. So anyhow, I love to go ahead and see her traveling and educating people about this cause, because I was talking with Cami, I recently did a fix and flip myself and my husband. And this woman gave her home over to someone, it looks like she didn't really know this person. She didn't know what to do with her real estate. And as I was going through her home, I realized she was so passionate about.
Let's see if we have room to put this here so you can face everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
That's okay.
Sorry. I thought I could do it the other way. Sorry.
That's totally fine. So anyhow, I discovered that she was really passionate about nonprofits. And if somebody would have came to her and said, hey, you can donate your home, it probably would have made one of those nonprofits very happy and to serve more people. And then I started talking with Cami. I met 2 more people in my community who said our neighbor just came over and gave us their house. They didn't know what to do with it. They just gave it to us. And then I started thinking, how many other people out there are not sure what to do with their houses or commercial real estate? And it'd be wonderful to see them give it to nonprofits and create a legacy. So I am so much of a big supporter and fan of Cami and the charitable real estate. And please spread this message out there to let other people know about it. It's just a cause we're very passionate about. And it's something that I teach and I speak about in one of my books, Create the Perfect Day. having that balance. And part of it is really about giving back and that social impact. So I want to say thank you to each one of you watching, and have an amazing day. And I give you Tammy.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. You know, the reason that we're even here in Sarasota is because of Jessica Peterson. She's introduced us to the best people, which is why you guys are here and why we're going to have hundreds of people that are coming in on our Zoom today. What I'm going to do is I am going to share this screen and share a presentation with you all. Well, we are having a weird lag, aren't we? There we go. Internet is slow. I don't know if there's other internet here in the office that might be turned off, but before we get into this presentation, just a little bit about how this all came about. I was a real estate agent in New Hampshire, and when I first got my real estate license, I was newly sober. I was a single mother with a 2-year-old baby, and I put the plug in the jug, and I needed to find a job. And the good Lord was looking down because I got a job at a real estate office. And I was a listing agent who did about 125 deals a year, needed a listing coordinator. So this was way back 20 years ago. And I did the BPOs. I made the listing packets. I did everything a listing agent does except go list the property. And it was the best on-the-job training ever, because a year and a half later, when he got me licensed, I knew that he was calling expireds and for sale by owners and door knocking. And so I got taught by the best of the best. And with my very first big commission check, you know, I'm a single mother. My daughter's now maybe 3 years old. We're living in a mobile home, and I'm just trying to make this career happen. And my first big check, I bought a 64.5 Mustang convertible. And it was my dream car. And people laughed at me. Ford, found on road dead. Boy, they saw you coming buying that car. But I saw the vision, and it would turn their head. It would get their attention. So with that car, we started doing car shows and parades and giving all the money we were making to local nonprofits. And I learned that even when people didn't care about Tammy Baker or Remax or real estate, they loved that we were helping the horses. They loved that we were helping the veterans. And I was able to get the media to come out. I got the Remax hot air balloon to come. And it just taught me very, just guerrilla marketing. I was hungry. I was newly sober. I had this child. I didn't want to leave with a babysitter. I wanted to bring her with me. And it just gave me the ability to do all that. I was able to make money and make a difference at the same time. And over the years, we did those car shows for 7 years. We started doing them for Ronald McDonald House and Make-A-Wish and all these nonprofits. And fast forward, I quit doing real estate. I wrote another book called Mingle to Millions. I started teaching people how to do cause marketing, marketing their business with the cause in mind. And about 2.5 years ago, I was at a conference just before the pandemic, and I learned the magical words that you guys are all here about, which is charitable gifting in real estate. And I thought, how have I been in real estate for 15 years and helping nonprofits, large and small, and sitting on committees and fundraising and begging my friends to come to another event and another car show. My God, we did car shows in New York City. We did them everywhere, raising money for people. But I learned about this thing called charitable gifting of real estate. And the fact of the matter is, I learned that 99% of us have never heard of this. And you'll learn why that is during this presentation. So I know that some of you are here because you love your nonprofit. Some of you have different kinds of businesses. This particular presentation, we focus on the real estate agent, but the deal is, if you want to do business with real estate agents, what better way to do business with them than to teach them a way they can get paid a really big commission to give their communities hundreds of thousands of dollars and millions of dollars. So let me share with you, what is charitable gifting of real estate and how can you be the hero in your community with this? So that is a bold statement. Real estate agents are missing out on $1 million a year and $20 million to their community. But I'm going to prove to you right now why that is and why this group of people could quite literally bring billions of dollars right into Florida and all over the country. So the first question that I want to ask you is, what would your causes do with $550,000? So I'd like to give little group participation. Who has a nonprofit that you feel so passionately about, you'd like to give them a little bit of PR right now? Yes, ma'am.
Satchel's Last Resort. It's a no-kill shelter in Sarasota. I am a foster mom for kittens, who I have 5 right now at my house and their mother. But they are raising funds to build a new building. Everything is, they need to rebuild.
They need money. What would
They
they
need money.
what would they do with $550,000?
Well, they're going to actually completely redo what is the existing buildings that are there. And I don't know how many acres they're on, but I mean, they have a lot of dogs, and I mean, it's just really outdated and in need. So,
You know, the more I learn about nonprofits, religion, of the $474 billion a year that's given to nonprofit, 1 out of every $3 goes to a church. Very, very popular churches and religion. The least funded nonprofits in this country are animals. Animals and environment rolled together only bring in 3%. That hurts my heart. So I'm with you on that. So think about your nonprofit and what would it do with $550,000? And guess what? It doesn't have to be 1. It could be 3 or 10 or 50 or 100 nonprofits in your marketplace. Why $550,000? Because that is the average amount from 1 donation of real estate. 1 donation averages $550,000. Sure as heck beats a barbecue ballroom function or bake sale. And the book that we have several copies with us, you saw the rig outside, Real Estate is Hot, Fundraising is Not. 5 keys to revolutionize how charities and champions are funding not only their causes and communities, but their careers and their companies. The book really lays out the best social responsibility campaign ever created, because 87% of your marketplace, no matter what your business is, no matter what city you're in, anywhere in this country, 87% of your marketplace will choose you over competition when you're socially responsible. But now we don't just have to help the animals or the churches or the veterans. We can help any and all of them. So we call these legacy listings. Why? Because every donation of real estate that happens, in order to give that $9 billion a year that the nonprofits are getting from real estate, it has to be listed. It's a donation of real estate that the nonprofit's not moving into or managing or maintaining. We're selling it for them. We're liquidating it. We call them legacy listings because they leave legacy for the nonprofit, for the donor. Donor friends, the donor wants to donate. One of the things I love about this as a real estate agent who made thousands, tens of thousands of door knocking and phone calls and expires and for sale by owners and all the calls that we don't want to make, finally, we can talk to people about something that they want to do, which is leave legacy for the veterans and the animals. So that's why we call them legacy listings. The reason that we say full commission, and I know there's stuff about commission out there, but here's the thing. When we say charitable gifts of real estate, people's first thought is, I'm glad you're helping the church, and I appreciate that you want to save the animals, but I'm not doing this for free. Friends, we already know all the realtors that are given $100 at closing and 10% of their commission at closing. We don't want you to make a donation. We're not asking you to do this at a discount. This is a full commission. And the reason that's important to the businesses and the nonprofits is because the realtors want to help them. There's 8,000 nonprofits in this county. I'm getting ready to show you the numbers in a minute. Every one of them has a donation of real estate and they don't even know it because they don't know, just like you didn't know 10 minutes ago. But when we let them know, and we let them know, they don't even have to pay you. You as a real estate agent are willing to help them for free because we're going to pay them a full commission. So here's what real estate agents need to know. They need to know that this is the secret real estate niche that is already funding nonprofits by the billions. It's been happening for 100 years. We didn't invent it. We just saw it. We're smart enough to do something with it. Your causes and communities need you to tell them. Nonprofits are starting to learn about this. I can show you all kinds of websites of nonprofits that do take real estate. For example, Cars for Kids. They take real estate. Why would I tell you that? Wouldn't that seem like a competition? If all you want is a tax deduction, go donate your real estate to Cars for Kids. They're a wonderful organization and the kids appreciate it. But you can't choose who gets the money. You just get a tax deduction. There are all kinds of, as a matter of fact, we are creating a CE class here in Florida for the realtors to get 3 hours credit to take our class. Great. Because of that, we're doing a lot more research and we're learning that much more about it. And there's all kinds of nonprofits that are starting to do this if you want to help that one nonprofit. But the way we do it, any and all of the nonprofits that you love can benefit. So here's what you need to know. $9 billion a year is already being donated to nonprofits, yet less than 1% of us really understand how this works. It's 550,000 on average, that's residential. It's 900,000 if it's commercial, and the realtors are clueless. I was completely clueless about it until I learned about it. Now, my calling, our calling is the Real Agents of Change. We're on a mission to give $1 billion a year to the nonprofit world. We want to give $1 billion a year. That translates into 50 million in commissions to real estate agents and ungodly amounts of money for fees, for financial advisors, for any and all kinds of businesses. Social responsibility, 87%, no matter what business you're in, you and your competition, you are seen helping 8,000 nonprofits in your county. Who do you think you're going to do business with? 87% have already said they will do it with you. Every donation of real estate needs a realtor. Now, 1 out of 1,000, maybe the real estate is donated for them to move into. Maybe it's the perfect house that they want to house veterans in, but that's so rare. That's grandpa's old way of donating real estate. This is real estate from anywhere in the country, any size, anywhere in the world in some cases, for any nonprofit that you love. So here's the opportunity. Some have told me that these are too many numbers, but I think we're all smart enough here to put on our thinking hat with the opportunity of numbers. On average, nationwide, 432 nonprofits per county. Average real estate agent does 3-county area, right? Some people down in Miami, maybe they only do this one condo building because they got sewn up, right? Maybe some only do one neighborhood. But the majority of realtors I've known nationwide do a tri-county area. What if 10% of those nonprofits were to want to start bringing in hundreds of thousands of dollars at no money out of pocket, zero risk because you brought it to them? Maybe that's too generous. What if it was only 3%? What if 3% of those nonprofits? 38. So let's look at some numbers. If 38 nonprofits said, you know what? We'd love to get free money, and you're going to do all the work, and the real estate agent's going to get paid by your group. So they're going to work for us for free to help us bring in an average of $550,000. Okay. So if you look at that, that's $20 million from 3% of nonprofits learning how to do this. This is where our numbers come from. And friends, that 20 million in donations, let's call it a 5% commission, could be 3%, could be 10%. But if on average the realtor got a 5% commission, there's your $1 million in commission that the real estate agent could be getting from 3% of the nonprofits. Now, let's say that you're saying, Tammy, that's too generous. I don't think 3% of them will do it. Here's the good news for you. And by the way, that's just the equity. Some luxury agents around the country will say to me, well, 550,000 may sound like a lot to you, but we won't even do a listing unless it's 2 million or up. Just want to be clear, that's the equity that's donated from the listing. It's not a $550,000 listing, it could be a $5 million listing. It's the equity. So, Florida specific, because there are over 100,000 nonprofits in the state and 200,000 realtors, it's over 1,600 per county, which is over 4,800 in that tri-county area that the average agent does. So 10% is too generous, 3% is too generous. What if 1%? What if 1% of the nonprofits in that real estate agent's market were to actually want free money? 48 times the 550, you're back to 26 million to the community, over $1 million in commission to that realtor. Here's what I found even more interesting as I did some research for you right here. Manatee County. Now remember, the average nationwide is 432. The average for Florida is 1,600. Manatee County has 2,500 nonprofits, all of which have donors. And I promise you, their donors are not on one donor list. They're on multiple donor lists. So if you have a nonprofit you love, you need to know that if you don't tell your donors, another nonprofit will, because we've got a big mouth. We've got friends like Jessica Peterson, and we've got title companies who want to let their communities know. So nonprofits are going to find out. If you don't tell your nonprofit, somebody's going to tell them. So Fort Myers is 4,700 nonprofits. Sarasota County, so I know Jessica does Sarasota and Manatee County, for 7,000 nonprofits. What if 1% of them, 70? Now here's some interesting numbers. Pinellas County, right where we are, 8,164 nonprofits right here. Tampa, Orlando, don't even get me started about Miami and Fort Lauderdale. They go up. So a tri-county marketplace in Florida is about 20,000 nonprofits. Let's say 0.5% said they wanted free money. So friends, we're wanting to share with you the opportunity to help people and to make money making a difference. Because the only way they can get that $9 billion is if we list it. And as our VP of Community Outreach, Alan Biles, wants you to know, think about and I don't have it easy to pull up right now. I wish I did. There's a picture that I have. Next week, we have our book launch at the Haven in Sarasota. The Haven, Jessica Peterson, and I are all in a photo standing next to a sign that says 100% of proceeds of this property go to fund nonprofits. Imagine the PR campaign. Imagine the social responsibility, no matter what business you are, that you're standing next to that sign when the van pulls up with the local media. Excuse me, how is it that when the sale of this property happens, there's $842,000 going to help our veterans, right? This is PR. This is social responsibility at its best. This is why we are in Florida, why we're creating CE classes, because they need our help. And we can't give $1 billion a year to them without paying you a lot of money to do it. We can't do it by ourselves. So what if those legacy listings weren't 550,000? What if it was like this property? This building was donated to the Martin Luther King community in Rhode Island last year. 1.7 million went to that nonprofit. This lovely estate, as you'll see, May 9th, 2022, is on the market this red hot minute, $7.5 million given to charity when it sells. Is it happening? Yeah. What about this one? This couple gave $129 million worth of real estate at one whack. So it's not, does it work? Will it happen? Let's wait and see. No, we're just missing the boat if we don't do it. So why do realtors become rock stars? We're the real agents of change. We become known as the rock stars, rock on. It's a lot of fun. We have this map on our website. You hover over any state and you see the person or the group that is that's certified. Now, when we first started this, I saw this 2.5 years ago, and with my filter of real estate and nonprofit, my first thought was, there's 2 million realtors in this country. What if we certify 1% of the realtors to be kind of like a honeybee and bring it back to the hive and let their marketplace know? So when we first started, the class was specifically for realtors. But what we learned is half the people that come to our class are realtors and the other half are financial advisors and fundraisers and nonprofits and insurance companies and mortgage companies and title companies. You know why? Because human beings care about other human beings, at least the ones that we attract do. And so they come, and even though the majority of the people on the map right now are realtors, little by little, nonprofits are coming up on the map, and so are other types of people. So you get a full commission. This is the only organization in the world who is teaching about charitable gifting of real estate, and even more importantly, how to leverage it. How to leverage it. System support and strategy to find the legacy listings. See, your competition is clueless. As a matter of fact, we know realtors who sit on the board and sit on fundraising committees for nonprofits who don't necessarily want to take this on themselves, but they give the deal to another. Oh, you're a charitable real estate specialist. Our church needs a new roof. Can you help us get some money? And then you're getting these full commission listings referred to you. So the way to do that is to be the specialist, the go-to, the 1% in your marketplace, to be the charitable real estate specialist. We have this class called the Master Class. We do it once a month live. The next one is June 28th. We always do it on the third Tuesday. However, the third Tuesday this month is a huge convention that I'm at. So we're doing it the following. So June 28th is the next master class. You can always take it online as well. But $50 off code right here, and I'm going to show you how to use that. So you can reach out directly to us. This link tree, would love for you guys to get your phone out and just go to the link tree. So simple. I love this thing. When you go to Linktree, as a matter of fact, I want to show you what it looks like. So first of all, this is the website where we're getting all of our numbers, taxexemptworld.com. If you want to check your county, state, we're going to start sharing this with all of our ROC all over the country, because somebody in California or Texas, they want to start showing people the number of nonprofits. So there's that. But I also want to show you, this is Linktree. So when you come here, you can click on any of these. You can learn more about charitable gifting of real estate. You can get the first chapter of this book for free, or you can just get one here. They're 20 bucks a book. I'll autograph them for you. This book is not only going to teach you about charitable real estate. Friends, that's 10% of it. This book is about how to leverage it, how to use it. So when you go to the link tree, if you go to Be a Specialist, you'll see our website. It is the store. When you come down to Specialist and you click Learn More, you'll see all the things that come with being a specialist. And when you click there, it's $400 a year to be a certified charitable real estate specialist and get all of our support, et cetera, et cetera. So you come in here and you can use the code that I just shared with you. My assistant is putting it in right now on there. And what else do I want to show you? Guys, come to the website. When you go to the tree, this FAQ. Oh, it's because it doesn't have www in front of it. Make sure everything we have has www in front of it. But this will show you the case studies, raw land, commercial, residential. This is where you can sign up for the master class if you just want to take the master class without becoming a specialist. EXP icon, Jean Frederick has given us a testimonial. So you just come to my link tree and you use the code that we gave. I am happy to hang around and answer any questions. I'm just going to leave that up in case you want to get that website. And love to answer any questions, any thoughts, concerns, hallucinations. What can I help you with that you didn't get today? It's a lot, isn't it? It's a lot.
It was good.
Yes,
a
I
lot.
have a question.
Sure.
Sorry, and I know. not really sure.
No,
But I know
no.
a ton of people with property now, so. If somebody is interested in doing this, if they would sell something that has, and donate, who do they reach out to? Like, where do they go to?
Are
Like,
you,
where would I direct them, for instance, if somebody mentions it to me?
sure. So are you talking about the nonprofit or the property
The
owner?
property owner.
Yeah, just come straight to us and we're happy to talk to you about referral fees
Oh, okay.
and all
Oh,
that.
okay.
It'd be
Sure.
great for you to sit, so you can sit in on the master class for free just to learn more about it. That's why instead of calling it the certification class, call it the master class.
Okay.
So you can sit in.
Sure.
But when people come to the master class and then they do want to get certified, because one of the reasons you may want to get certified is because you show up on the map. And people can start finding other
Right.
specialists who
Oh.
understand how charitable
And they
gifting.
can explain it. and so-
Right, so it's a
Okay.
great way for you to prospect, it's a great way for you to get referral fees and things like that. So if you come to the master class and then decide to become a specialist, it's the $400. If you want to get the $50 off, you just do that now. But yes, you send them to us. And if you go to therock.com, so that's our website, the RAOC, like Real Agents of Change. Rock.com/property evaluation is where they go in and they put the details of their property so that we can take a look at it and let them know if it is an actual donation of real estate. But let us help you understand a little bit more about it before you have a whole lot of conversation, because they're gonna ask you questions you just don't have,
Oh,
right?
sure,
Yeah,
exactly. At least I know who to call.
Yeah.
That's a good start.
yeah, for sure. And join our Facebook group. There's a lot of information there.
Okay,
And the master class is really good to get a little bit deeper into the weeds of what we do.
okay, great.
Yes.
How long is the master class?
It's 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Yep. And it really gets into all the benefits for the nonprofit, the benefits for the donor. We get into the tax benefits. We get into the benefits for the realtor and friends, financial advisors. 65% of these deals come from financial advisors because they have clients who need a tax deduction and they want to be more philanthropic. And we have ways of showing the financial advisors how they can actually double their assets under management, which is how they make money.
Questions live or I don't know.
Oh, let's see. Sure.
I have 100 questions.
Question? Yeah, sure.
So when someone contacts a charity to say that they want to make a donation in form of real estate property,
Mhm.
then it's basically a normal listing for either an auction or a sale for us, with us promoting it, going to that charity. Right?
Mhm.
So then what type of paperwork is involved to have because the listing would be from, I mean, are you transferring title to the charity right off the bat, or do you get the listing signed by the owner of the property?
So
or
here's
the
how it
charity,
works.
Or how does that,
It-
for tax write-off?
Sure. So a gift of real estate is a two-step process. The first step is the charitable donation, where the property is being donated to a 501c3, which gives the property donor its tax benefit, the write-off from their adjusted gross income. They don't pay capital gains tax, et cetera. But they have to donate it to a 501c3 to make that happen. Problem is, 99.99% of nonprofits in this country, if you offer them $500 cash or the deed to a property worth $500,000, 99.9% of them will take $500 cash and say no to the property because it's so risky. And it's just something they will not do. They have it written in their bylaws. We get into this in the master class. So what happens is we have a third party, 501c3, that can take title to the property. It's a legitimate property transaction, just like any other. They sign an agreement, and in the agreement that they sign, they say, okay, Bob wants 80% of these proceeds to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and he wants 20% to go to his church. Okay, great. All written in a donation agreement. Property is donated. Now, Bob is off the title. Bob has nothing else to do with it. And the Boys and Girls Club in the church have no liability. They're not on title. They are designated to get the money when the property is sold. So now that the specialized nonprofit, that's what we call them, has title, step number one was the donation. Step number two is the liquidation to give the funds to the nonprofit. That's when the real estate agent gets hired to list the property at a full commission.
So
All this gets covered at the master class. I know we can really get into the weeds, but the simplicity of it is Bob has property and he loves his nonprofit. His nonprofit will not take real estate, period, end of story. So we have a third party that will partner with that nonprofit so that Bob can donate his property, get his tax benefit, property gets listed and liquidated, so that his nonprofits benefit with no risk and no out-of-pocket expense.
Then property sells and then Bob gets his official write-off of what it sold.
Bob gets his official write-off the minute he donates it.
What if it sells for more? Could have got more.
Well, when he donates it, there is an appraisal. Let's say it's $1 million appraisal. And let's say Bob wanted 300,000 cash. I paid 300,000 for it 10 years ago. I love the Boys and Girls Club, but I don't love them that much. I want my 300,000 back. So when he donates it to the specialized nonprofit, they give him 300,000 right then. They take on the responsibility of the property, regardless of what it sells for. He got his $1 million write-off, give or take the 300,000 that he got, obviously. And then now, when the property sells, specialized nonprofit recoups any of their expenses, including the 300,000, and whatever's left, they give 90 to 98% to the nonprofits that Bob wanted it.
So your third party specialized holding company. kind of.
Yes, sure. Mhm.
You're a nonprofit because you give the proceeds or a good portion of the proceeds to another charity, has to be. In
Yeah.
order for you to be a nonprofit.
Well, so it's not our nonprofit. It is one that we've partnered with. We've got a couple that we work with. One of them is Realty Gift Fund. So for example, Fidelity Charitables is the largest nonprofit in this country. And they're so big because they do something called donor advised funds. I see you nodding your head, you've heard of them.
Yeah, no, I'm in a Rotary Club and we've had to deal with some of the 501c3s like that. When people want to donate large amounts, there has to be transfers to where these
Sure.
middle.
Transfer.
Sure.
I've not dealt with it on the real estate side. I've dealt with
Well,
other
and
side.
so there are there's a lot of community foundations that will take real estate, but they'll only take it if it's local and it's mortgage free. And it's like in Manatee County, right? If it's in Wisconsin or New York City or a strip mall in California, they're not going to do that. So what we are saying is, if your nonprofit can't take something that's local and easy, by all means, go ahead. We simply help them expand how they can take in real estate. For example, we're in the process of talking to Habitat for Humanity. So Habitat for Humanity, if you look, when you come to the master class, you'll see a list of all the nonprofits who received grants, not all of them, but a huge chunk. And Habitat for Humanity is there. The thing is, Habitat for Humanity has hundreds of branches and chapters, and they don't really talk to each other. So even though this one over here has gotten money from a gift of real estate, they all don't know about it. So we're currently talking to Habitat for Humanity International so that not only can we help them do these donations, but more importantly, help them do a social responsibility campaign so that their whole community knows. So we call it being reactive versus proactive. We can sit around and react and wait for someone to randomly call Habitat for Humanity, or we can be proactive and teach the realtors and the mortgage companies and the title companies to let people know.
So there are there are places like Habitat that actually will take title to a property because they'll use it on some portion. I mean, I've already donated properties from Wells Fargo to veterans
I
or
did the Lord.
other places.
Trying to help them with a lot of
So
different things as
if
well.
that's the case, if they accepted the real estate donation, then they don't need
So when it's
That is true, but we've been talking to Habitat for Humanity in Manatee County. If someone has a piece of property in Manatee County that fits their criteria and is in the right neighborhood and the right condition, they might take it. But what we're helping them to understand is they have people who own a strip mall in California or a ranch in Texas or a house in Wisconsin that they would donate, that we can liquidate and we can give them the 1 million or 5 million so that they can buy the real estate that they need here. They rarely get something donated that they can use. We've talked to them quite a bit.
Oh, I'm sure. So if someone donates a property and appraises for $1 million and sells for 2 million, that extra, the difference between what the appraisal was and what the sale price, who gets that?
It's so
Does
when-
that go back to,
No, so it's just like any other, real estate transaction. First of all, this specialized nonprofit who does this and does it for a living, this is all they do. So when the property comes in, it's had an appraisal. And it's very unlikely the property is going to appraise for $1 million and turn around and sell for $2 million. But let's say that it sells for 1.2 million. Well, great. That's just that much more money that the nonprofit world's going to get. It's a real estate transit. It's just like if you were a list. What if you listed a property for $1 million? Because that's what it appraised for. And then you got an offer for 1.2 million. That doesn't mean you're going to put 200,000 in your pocket because all you listed it for was $1 million. It just means that the people that are involved are just that much more benefited by the extra money. That's all.
so then the Boys and Girls Club or whomever will get a
Yeah.
higher percentage of, because it was what, 80.
Great questions. So we would love to see you at the master class. We'd love to see you at the book launch if you want to come out. If you want to grab a copy of the book while you're here, happy to sign it for you. And anything else, Alan, do you want to?
Yeah, I just look at it, I've been dealing with the nonprofit world mostly since we started doing this together. And most of the questions circulate around like, so what, the guarantee that like, so a property donor has a piece of property and, listening to it, you have someone intercede in the middle between the donor and the recipient that takes title. And there's legal agreements that are made from the donor to this specialized nonprofit to guarantee that the proceeds are going to the nonprofit or nonprofits, whoever they want. They can break it up into, however many different pieces they want and get it to as many different nonprofits. They want to take cash out, that's up to them, put it into a trust. They can do it that way too, but basically there's 3 ways to give. You can actually take the owner of the property, they can sell it themselves, and then take the sale value, whatever they got out of it, and give the rest of it to the nonprofit. But they're going to pay a lot of money in taxes they wouldn't otherwise. They can take the property itself, give it to the nonprofit who can receive it. Then that nonprofit has to take ownership of it, all the maintenance, all the tax burden that it's going to incur while they're dealing with the process of selling it. God forbid something will move, plumbing or act of God come along, and those are complications they don't want to deal with. Plus, it's going to take them off mission. And then the third way to do it is the way we're doing it is to allow us to be the intermediary and take all the risk, take all the responsibility in that process without any cost up front, and then turn it and then grant, the money is granted from a specialized nonprofit to the whatever donor, wherever they want it to go to. So it's just such a it just makes so much sense once you really understand what your options are in donating real estate.
Can a donor have a mortgage on the property? they want to
Yes.
donate? So,
Yeah,
but
I
who
would
will
say
pay that mortgage payment while it's selling?
the specialized nonprofit.
So keep in mind,
Normal.
so keep in mind, when the property is donated, the only way that a property can exchange hands, as we all know, we're in real estate. Bob has $1 million condo with a $300,000 mortgage. He needs to donate it to a 501c3 to get his tax benefit. The only way to donate that to a 501c3 is for it to be lien free. So the specialized nonprofit pays off the $300,000 mortgage. They call it a bargain sale. Because in essence, they're buying $1 million condo at a $300,000 bargain.
Is it still a bargain if they have a 70 LTV?
It's a bargain sale if $1 exchanges hands. So if a property is given free and clear, here's the title, here's the keys, you do with it what you want, there's no mortgage, we don't want any money, take it. That's a gift.
So $1 million, 800,000 mortgage, they can get out of that property, get $1 million write-off, they get 200 grand off their taxes. They're out of the property and now you're selling.
Correct, as long as there's enough equity, right? So
10, 20% in
Sure.
order to buy
For
it
sure.
originally.
for sure, for
Right.
sure. Some people think that this is about getting rid of a dog piece of property that nobody else wants.
Oh.
But when you think about it, the specialized nonprofits get ready to sign that they own this property. They're gonna pay taxes on it, they're gonna pay the water bill, you know, they're gonna take care of any hurricane issues.
Help avoid foreclosure, right?
Yes, yes. But usually if a property is getting ready to go into foreclosure, it's because it's behind on mortgage and there's no equity and all that stuff. But there's lots and lots of different reasons why people do it. 80% of these donations happen because the donor is altruistic. They are philanthropically inclined. They love their nonprofit. They don't have 500,000 cash to give them, but they've got the equity in this property and they want to avoid capital gains anyway, and they want to be the hero and the legacy, so they don't need this. So
No one's out there marketing this. That's why no one's heard about it. The companies that are doing it, they're doing it as someone says, hey, we got this property, a financial planner or a money manager might tell one of their clients, you need to liquidate some property to avoid this. And so then they do it, and they have to seek out like Realty Gift Fund, who we use. But Realty Gift Fund's not out there saying, hey guys, listen, we can do this. That's what we're doing. We're the ones out there. Cammie's the voice in the wilderness. They're basically just hoping somebody comes along, and they do. They live off of that. They make their bread and butter off of just anybody's coming along. We're taking it to the next level. We're bringing awareness to it, educating people. And that's really the mission of it.
That's awesome. I love it.
right.
I know, trying to think as a lender, how it can help it. We're very, we have VAs out, we're right, our office fund big funds. We pay for all their appraisals, you know, stuff like that. I can offer, you know, if any of you guys have listings and you get the buyer, we'll pay,
How do
since
you-
you're non-charity, we'll pay for the appraisal.
How do you typically market yourself? Who do you want to do business with? What's your marketing campaign?
We're mostly referral based from our realtors. We also are a preferred lender with Zillow. So we buy all the counties in the state of Florida, and everyone in the branch has particular counties, but with our brand PRMG, we're nationwide, so I can originate loans in all 48 contiguous states.
So ultimately, you're doing business with realtors
Yes.
and you're doing open houses with them and
I
providing.
can provide all the listing, the marketing materials for every one of your houses that you guys get.
So imagine this. You let your realtors know, hey, you know what? Instead of just that golf tournament that helps the veterans, or just this table over here that helps the animals,
First, letting your
or
commission-
just this, you know, lunch and learn to help the kids. What if our mortgage company actually taught you 500 realtors how to make a full commission, helping any nonprofit you love?
Yeah, I love everything. I do.
Yeah,
It's
so
great.
some of the mortgage companies we work with, that's what they want to do. They want to sponsor an event like this and get a conference room and put 100 realtors in the room. Some of them are short-sighted and they say, well, we're mortgage companies. How do we get the loan?
Right.
And we're like, no, wait a minute. You want to do business with realtors. How do you do business with realtors? You bring them value. You show them the secret real estate niche that no other real estate knows, and that you can help them. We'll talk about that. I'd love to
Yeah.
do some strategy with you about that, about
Great.
how to do some. And we have CE classes coming up. So we just met a mortgage company last week who said, as soon as you get the CE class, go and let us know, man. We'll put 500 realtors in a room and give them CE for this. Oh, yeah, awesome. Please make sure I get your card before you leave. Awesome. Okay, guys, thanks.
Tammy?
Thanks for coming. Feel free
Tammy?
to- Yes, yes.
Tammy, can you hear me?
yes. I do.
Hi, I got somebody that hung in there the whole presentation, and she had a question for you, and maybe some other people are gonna have the same question.
Okay.
Ciante Johnson from National Birthday Bash Box had a question about, I put it into the chat.
Oh, I see it. I see it, Sam. How do we get a list of the nonprofits that we work with? Here's what I want you to know, my nonprofit friend. Here, let me get us off the share.
Sure.
We work with any and all nonprofits in this country. So your nonprofit can benefit from gifts of real estate. You have people in your donor list who would donate real estate if they knew that they could. And I'm not sure exactly what you do, but I have talked to nonprofits that do things around birthday bashes and things like where they help foster kids, celebrate their birthdays, etc. There are real estate agents that would love to help you find gifts of real estate for you, because they're going to get paid and they're going to love what you do. Thank you so much. Oh, let me sign it for you. Let me just sign this book, guys. Does that help? Does that answer that question? Because another part of that question is sometimes people are wanting to be on the list of nonprofits that can benefit. When we find a gift of real estate to give them money, what we want to tell you is we're not here to feed you a fish. We're here to teach you how to be fed for generations to come from your own fish.
Great answer, Cami. I appreciate you spending the time. And Ciante, I appreciate you. I did put therock.com/FAQS at the top of the page. And was there another link you wanted me to share with them? Oh, charitable gift fund.
Here, let me just put this one here.
For sure.
I love this linktree.ee/Cami Baker. Guys, that's a great one to go to because it's just got a little bit of everything.
All right, I'll edit the link. I'll edit the link on the top of the page so that she has that. Let's see, Linktree. Great presentation, by the way.
Thank you. And friends, if any of you want to do a presentation like this, where we can bring together a group of people and do it online and do it live, etc., just let me know. I'm actually going to get off now because I want to go be friendly with our people that are live. But Sam, make sure, please, everybody has my contact information.
Absolutely.
Sam is a rock star, by the way. If Sam Silver invited you, you couldn't be with a better person. He will help you make money, making a difference. Bye, everybody.